What's going on, people? Today I will be reviewing Alien in 4K Ultra HD, and I got that coming up for you next. So, Alien came out in 4K Ultra HD a couple of weeks ago, and I am just catching up to it now. I kind of fell behind on these reviews. But if you like this review, I do this stuff all the time because it's what I do. So subscribe down here, and I will let you know when all of these beautiful videos come out. So, getting into Alien, starting off with the movie first. This movie is one of those seminal movies in my my movie watching career. Because yes, I have made a career out of watching movies. Yeah. And, it's just that kind of movie. You know, everything here, you can just see it immediately in almost every horror movie afterwards. Specifically, more of the sci-fi horror. It just comes with all the tropes right here. The suspense of this movie and how it builds tension. It's just cannot be matched. And so many people want to replicate it, but nobody can actually live up to it. Even the best ones, people. And it's just because of Ridley Scott's direction here. I really feel like this is him at the top of his game. I actually like this movie more than Blade Runner. This is my favorite Ridley Scott film, and just the creature designs here. When it comes to H.R. Giger's creature designs, it is just amazing. The world that they build here is so interesting, and the characters here. You can't just not be sucked into every one of them. They all have their very unique quirks that are all very relatable, and you get into it. And along with that, the character of Ripley, what can I say? Sigourney Weaver has created one of the most iconic female characters on film, and it starts here. It does get very amped up in Aliens. That is where she becomes a badass. But it very much starts here. And then you have maybe the scariest and the creepiest creature of all time with the alien itself. You don't have tens of, of 20 aliens out there after these people. It's just one alien. And damn it, he's going to take these people out. And I just love it for that. This movie is just the pinnacle of suspense films and horror in my mind. 10 out of 10. And getting into the video quality here, the video quality is so important to this movie and to the Alien franchise. And this was actually given a 4K scan and given a 4K digital intermediate. This was actually supervised by Ridley Scott and the cinematographer. Right off the top, I don't normally go to this first, but the black levels here are really, really the best that they have ever looked here. Not a lot of crushing at all. And that is so important. You see so much more of the just the ship, and a lot more of the texturing on clothing and the texturing on people's faces just from the lack of crushing in the black levels here. This is a very dark film. A lot of it takes place in darkness, and it is so important to have crisp, very defined black levels that are deep and inky and just perfect. And that's what they are here. kudos to Fox on that point. Now, when it comes to clarity and detail, this isn't the sharpest transfer on the shelf. It is a lot sharper than the Blu-ray, but unfortunately there are some scenes that do remain a little soft. In my point of view, I would like them just a little sharper, but still, that is nitpicking like I am here to do today. A lot of the detail is stepped up, though, and so much of it is like all of the detail that goes into the ship. That is actually the biggest thing here. So much more detail in the ship. When you go into the cockpit and you can see each individual button that is in that cockpit, and trust me, there's a lot of them. That is actually something that we have never seen before, because a lot of the harsh lighting on the buttons, and this can be attributed to HDR too, it is a lot more well contained here, and that means that you can see a lot more detail. So that is always good as well. And when you go down into the depths of this ship that they are on, you get a lot more detail in just the backgrounds and the settings of the ship. It is just really, really well done. And when you get into the HDR, like I said before, a lot more of the harsher colors here are more contained. And they do have more of a pop as well. And, when it comes to that actually allows for a lot more detail. So that is always good as well. And like I said, this is a very black, very dark movie. So you're not going to get bright pops of HDR. But when they do happen towards the end of the film with the more harsh lighting that comes at you, it's truly bright, and it definitely pops off the screen when it needs to. And just as an added note here, this is actually one of the very few discs to feature HDR+. And even though I don't feel like this movie is one of the best showcases for that, I do appreciate them pushing that technology forward. For that, I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. This is the best that Alien has ever looked, and I am just not disappointed with this video quality one bit. And getting into the audio quality, we are given a DTS HD 5.1 mix, and I am kind of disappointed that we weren't given the Atmos treatment here. But unfortunately, that's what Fox does. If they aren't going to give you an Atmos track for the majority of the X-Men movies that they came out with, trust me, they are not going to do it for Alien. So they didn't. And, this is just good. It's the same audio track that's on the Blu-ray, and it has some decent atmosphere, some decent speaker separation. It is pretty front-heavy. And bass response is, it's good without being impressive enough. And I feel like this is an 8 out of 10. But with that being said, I really wanted that Atmos mix to really fill this out and really add some needed atmosphere to this mix. And when we're talking about digital copies here, this is a Movies Anywhere digital copy. So that means that you can redeem this on iTunes and on Vudu and grab that 4K version. And as far as the special features here are concerned, it is kind of a mixed bag, so I'm just going to roll through it with you guys. So what you do have here is all of these special features that were on that first disc of the box set of Alien when it came out with the Alien Quadrilogy on Blu-ray. all those special features that were on that Alien disc are ported over to the 4K disc here. So that is good, but unfortunately, not all of the special features that were in that box set are ported over here, because there was a whole separate special features disc that went to Alien, specifically to this film, and there was just a lot more there, and you would really want to actually go and seek that out. So you actually get 2 audio commentary tracks here, and the first has the cast and crew, and even though they were recorded separately, it definitely flows, and I have always liked listening to it. This is one that I've listened to multiple times before. And the second has Ridley Scott flying solo, but he can carry an audio commentary on his own. Trust me, and he does here. And then you do get the introduction that went with the 2003 release, and some deleted scenes as well, along with 2 isolated tracks from the score of this film. And that is it. There was a lot more on that separate special feature disc that came with that Blu-ray. Unfortunately, it isn't here, but you know what? I do really like the audio commentaries. That is the only real thing worthwhile here, though. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. And that is unfortunate, but that's just because of the lack of special features here. And getting into my last looks at Alien, look, this movie is a classic in my mind. It does everything right. The suspense in this movie keeps me on the edge of my seat even today. I love these characters. I love the world building and the world they've created here, and Ridley Scott's direction. He is just at the top of his game here, and I really can't say enough about this movie. I hope that they come out with every other Alien film in 4K so I can talk to you guys about all of them, because it would be such an interesting discussion. And when you add up all my scores for Alien in 4K Ultra HD, you come out to a 32 out of 40. That score would have been a lot higher if they would have incorporated some decent special features here, especially because they were in that large box set that they came out with on Blu-ray a while ago, but unfortunately it's not here, so that brought the grade of this down. But look. If you are a fan of Alien, I don't know why you wouldn't be. This movie is awesome. This is the best way to watch this movie. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with an Atmos track. I really, I struggled with that and the special features here. So coming up next, I have to do something that I do not want to do, but I have to. It is going to be a big, massive catch-up for me. It's going to be a big video where I catch up on about 6 or 7 releases. There are going to be a lot. Hellboy, The Golden Army is going to be one of them. Black Hawk Down, Godzilla, Hannibal. I have a lot to catch up to, but that is because I have to review every Batman film that I haven't reviewed to catch up for when they come out in 4K the first week of June, because I will be reviewing those for you guys. Those will be getting their own separate video. I will be paying a lot of attention to them. I cannot wait. So, if you like this video, I do this all the time. Subscribe down here. And thank you all for watching. You guys are awesome. I don't even say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.